Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. Today we are going to be looking at multiplication and division problems. So our learning intention is to understand and solve multiplication and division problems. Here is a quick starter for you. Now don't worry if you can't complete all of them, just have a go. Remember that today's lesson is practicing this, so at the end of the lesson hopefully you'll be feeling more confident. Pause the video to solve these questions. Okay, well done for having a go at these. Hopefully some of you will be quite familiar with doing this because you would have been practicing on times table rock stars, and you should be feeling a little bit more confident with your times tables, which means multiplication and division is going to seem a little bit more easy for you. So 2 times 6, we could have counted up in our twos 6 times to work this out if we didn't know it off the top of our heads. So let's do that quickly together now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The answer for this first question here is 12. The next question here, again, we could have counted up in our fives 4 times. Let's do that quickly now. 5, 10, 15, 20. The answer for this question is 20. The next question, 18 divided by 2. Now we could have swapped this around to make it a multiplication problem. If we were finding it a bit tricky, we could have counted up in our twos until we managed to get to 18 and then seen how many times it took us to get to 18. So let's do that quickly in our twos now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I've counted in my twos 9 times. That means that 18 divided into 2 groups, there would be 9 in each of those groups. Now for this last question here, we've already kind of worked out the answer. If we look at the question above, we can see that 5 times 4 is 20. That means that if I had 5 sweets in 4 groups, I would have 20 altogether. Now, if I had 20 sweets and I divided them and gave them out to 5 children, those children would get 4 sweets each. We've done the inverse here, which is quite easy to see now that they're above each other. Well done if you managed to get those questions correct. Here we have another example of our operation tree. So I have the operations up at the top and I've got some sentences that we need to match up with the correct operation. So the first one says sharing things fairly. The next one says finding how many groups there are. And this last one down here says finding the total amounts that are all the same size. You're going to pause the video. You can either discuss with someone who's with you, or if you're at school, you can discuss with the person that's near you and decide which operation matches these sentences. Pause the video here to have a go. Well done for having a go at these. Well done for having a go at these operation sentences. Let's go through these answers together. If we're sharing something, that usually means that we are dividing, especially if it's fairly, because that means that the groups that we're sharing into are equal, which we need to make sure they are if we're dividing. The next sentence is finding how many groups there are. That means that we could be multiplying to see how many groups there are. The next question, finding the total of amounts that are all the same size. Again, this could be multiplying. Well done for having a go at these questions. Here we get to meet Zeta again. It says choose which of the 4 operations to use to solve the problem. I'll read it to you. Zeta has 12 free leaflets to deliver. If she delivers 2 to each house, how many houses will get free leaflets? So she's got 12 of them to deliver, and she's going to deliver 2 to each house. How many houses are going to get free leaflets? So you need to decide which operation you're going to use to solve the problem, and then you're going to write down the answer as well. Pause the video to have a go at this problem. Okay, well done for having a go at this problem. Hopefully you will have decided that the operation we should use is divide. We can think of it that Azita is sharing the leaflets to the houses, and she's going to deliver 2 to each house. So we're going to be doing 12 leaflets, and at each house she's going to give 2 of them away. Now, if we know our times tables, then we know that 12 divided into 2 groups means that there'll be 6. Okay, which means 6 houses will get 3 leaflets. Well done for having a go at this. The next question, it says, choose which of the 4 operations to use to solve problems. Azita and Tom have 16 large parcels to deliver. They decide to share them fairly. How many large parcels will Azita deliver? Pause the video here to work out which operation you should use and what the answer is to this problem. Well done for having a go at this problem. Now again, here is that key word, share and fairly. Hopefully you will have decided that the operation we need to use for this question is division again. We've got 16 parcels that they're going to deliver, and we've got 2 people. So they're going to share them equally between themselves, the 2 people. We could count up in our 2's to work this out. We could just practice our 2 times tables to know that 16 divided by 2 equals 8. So the answer for this problem is 8. Well done for having a go at this. The next question, it says, Azita needs to deliver 10 letters to each of these streets. Now we have looked at this question before, so I'm hoping that we can use a different operation to solve this. How many letters in this altogether? So we know that each of these streets is going to get 10 letters each. I'll write that up. Which operation should you use to solve this problem? Now, the other day we were looking at addition and subtraction. We could use one of those to help us, but remember today we are practicing multiplication and division. So keep that in mind. Pause the video to have a go at this problem. Well done for having a go at this problem. So hopefully you will have worked out that you could do 10 times 3 to solve this problem. So the operation you're using is multiplication. We've got 10 letters and 3 groups. So to work out how many they are delivering all together, we do 10 times 3, which equals 30. Well done for having a go at this. Here are your independent activities for today. So if you're doing one idea, just pause on that section of the video and then send your work over to Mrs. Buttress or I. Same for few ideas and same for the relate questions. So if you're doing one idea, you're just doing multiplication and division problems. You can use counters if you have them at home, or you can use your whiteboard or just a piece of paper and you can draw the counters instead. If you're doing few ideas, then you're going to have a go at the multiplication and division problems using the bar models. We have practiced using bar models. If you're doing relate, then you're going to be doing multiplication and division 2-step problems using bar models. So for each of those questions, you will have 2 steps to do before you solve that problem. So if you're doing one idea, I'm going to quickly demonstrate how to use dots or counters to solve this first question. So the first question is 6 times 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw an array to help me work this out. So I can see that I need to have 6 dots. So I'm going to draw them lengthways 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to have 2 groups, which means next to it I need to have another group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I can count them all up and see how many I have together. For this question here, 8 divided by 2, I could draw 2 groups and then share 8 equally into these 2 groups. Okay, pause the video here to have a go at these questions. If you're doing few ideas, then I've got some word problems for you. I will read them to you and then let you have a go. The first one says divide the apples into 5 bowls. Now we've got the 5 bowls for you on the screen. You could draw them if you want to and divide all of the apples into those 5 bowls. Make sure they're equal. The next question says divide the balls between the 3 players. So 3 of these players are going to need the same amount of tennis balls. You need to divide them equally. Number 3, divide the pencils between the 10 pots. So we've got a lot of pencils here and we need to divide them into the 10 pots. And the last question says divide the buns onto each plate. So we've got 4 plates here and we need to divide those buns. If you're doing Relate, then these are your questions. Please make sure you upload your work to Padlet, or you can email your work across to Mrs. Buttress and I so that we can see how you're getting on. Pause the video here to have a go. Well done for having a go at these problems, and I'm sure we'll see you very soon.